SwissBorg is the official partner of my channel where you can buy, sell, hold and more importantly stake your cryptocurrencies. You can even earn yield on your stablecoins. Sign up with my link and you'll earn up to $100 worth of their native token CHSB just for depositing €50 worth of crypto. SwissBorg. Hello everybody, welcome back. We're going to have a look at the Bitcoin dominance chart and maybe discuss just very briefly about what could be around the corner for altcoins, basically. So altcoins have not had a good run this week. In fact, neither has Bitcoin. It's all basically dragged behind traditional markets, which are doing that thing I thought they were going to do, which is the last bounce before the crash. I'm not saying that we're going to crash now or anything like that. We do have, I think, jobs data and earnings coming through today. That might have a negative effect on the market, but again, you know, trying to trade a situation like that is going to be difficult. So we're just going to focus on the chart itself. I'm thinking about risk to reward when it comes to either, you know, backing a Bitcoin horse or an altcoin horse, and just try and boil something down in the simplest terms, really. So the Bitcoin dominance chart is something that we've used, you know, for years. Really had pretty good success for when it's looking at, you know, who you're going to be on, you know, what side are you on? You know, you're going to be buying altcoins now. You're going to be holding Bitcoin now. What are you going to be doing? And it's yeah, I suppose risk and reward when looking at this. And like I say, the last major time we used this was around this area here when we moved into altcoins. You know, despite everybody saying it's going to rocket all the way up to the moon, you know, Bitcoin dominance is going to continue to go up, altcoins going to get wrecked. We actually found ourselves in a small, very small alt season. You know, my expectation was, you know, let's just be grateful for whatever we get. We'll start with looking at between 10 and 50%, and that worked. And then we had continuation when we broke down below this line, this moving average here. This is a weekly, by the way, and this is a 21 exponential, and this is where we picked up even more gains after that. So first, you know, 10 to 50% turned into roughly about, you know, 50 to 80% on the altcoins we were dealing with, and then we sort of scraped the bottom of the barrel as we were closing below this 21 exponential. So the reason I'm bringing this video up now is that we've come up to the 21 exponential again, and you know, I've been saying this whole time, you know, don't underestimate the power of altcoins. In fact, this bear market shows you one thing. It shows you that, you know, altcoins are retaining a lot of their market cap in comparison to Bitcoin. It's not particularly sort of bullish on the price. Obviously, nothing is in a bear market, but what it is definitely different to how the last bear market played out, which is a massive move staggered all the way up to the top of the range. So all the way from the bottom range, January 2018, all the way to the top of the range, which was September 2019. So, you know, a big move here. So I mean, this is where the bear market was, and it kind of the bear market ended around March, April, around here. So even throughout the bear market, the Bitcoin dominance increased, you know, from the actual bear market beginnings, the bubble pop, to, I suppose, the capitulation plus accumulation and the start of the uptrend, which really started to pick up pace in April 1st. It was kind of looking at a 47, almost 48% move on the Bitcoin dominance chart throughout this entire period. Whereas this time around, we've really not done that. In fact, all we've done is moved within a range, which has been quite useful in a way to be able to play this kind of range, but we're not really looking for major alt seasons to take place while we're down these ranges, but we have made the use of it. And so, you know, the reason I'm bringing it up is that this 21 exponential is actually relatively important for the Bitcoin dominance chart. It's a line in the sand. Are we going to break above it and continue up? If we are, then we move on to horizontal areas like this box around here. We'll start off with around 47% dominant area before we might be looking at a major alt season, or back up to this area where we were rejected from, where we got the last alt season, 48.7% dominance, or maybe we continue on from there. Or do we actually reject from this level and actually get some relief for altcoins at the moment? Because at the moment, Bitcoin has been the main mover, and altcoins have basically done nothing or lost money. Some of them, occasionally you'll find some that make some decent moves, obviously, but for the most part, it's not really a place to get in. So those with the big balls, or needing some hopium, would look at this, as they should in a way, as a potential rejection on the dominance chart, and with that in mind, you might be looking for it to find its way back down to the bottom of the range. You know, that's a possibility, and why not? why not? Like I say, altcoins have been particularly strong. If we just look at how the 21 exponential has performed in the past, all of this area, you know, despite being relevant on the chart to an extent, is almost irrelevant, because this is the advent of altcoins, the super mania, the madness of 2017. It's been more relevant as we sort of trended up and back down again. So we'll look at it from around the bear market end and the bull market beginning. And we reclaimed it, bounced from it all the way up to the top. Support, 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 breakdown, resistance, resistance. And then that's it, really. Reclaimed it, found itself as support, breakdown, resistance all the way down here. This is a weekly, by the way. And then recently, since we've been down in the depths of it, a little poke above, no big deal. Resistance. Resistance here, reclaimed it. You can see all these weeks as support. All this is resistance. Big breakup, alt season, resistance, resistance, resistance. So you can't understate the you know, the relevance of this chart and of that particularly useful moving average, to which we appear to be finding a rejection on it right now. So, long story short, if the market continues to want to bounce, which I think it does, because like I say, on the Bitcoin chart, we've still got that that setup, which is the continuation of a trend signal on a 4-hourly. This should still be in play, even at this current price action, for what will be another day and a half, another day. So we've got another 24 hours to really make a move up. Otherwise, this will be a cancelled signal. It would have been a failed signal. But for the moment, it's still technically in play. Also, another good thing is that we've managed to, despite how choppy it's been since we got that signal, every 4-hourly candle body has closed above the 200 exponential on the 4-hourly, which again is a good indication of further upside on this chart. So this chart does look good for continuation, despite what you might read on Twitter. It does look quite good. Again, we're just basing it on this 4-hourly. So Bitcoin still looks relatively good for continuation. This could just be seen as a consolidation. I'm not particularly worried unless we start to close back within this box. And I mean, candle bodies close within the box, obviously below the box, deadly. So this box starts at about 19,500 to about 19,700. So quite only a small little area really of significance. But for the moment, it looks actually okay for continuation. Now we are sort of rolling over it when it comes to momentum. That's standard in a consolidation anyway. So again, I wouldn't be too you know, upset by that. We don't really have much to go by on this 2-hourly. Nothing to call it divergence. Just looks very much like consolidation anyway. But moving averages are being respected on Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin, so like I say, in summary, if Bitcoin continues to move up with this trend, which it suggests that it has, then I think altcoins are actually going to catch a bit of a breather, provided we don't break and close above that 21 exponential on your Bitcoin dominance chart. So if Bitcoin starts to move up into the next level, move up outside of this range, break up into the mid-20s, into the 21s and 22s, which is where we've kind of leveled off this rough area around 22,300, I think altcoins actually will have a bit of move in them. Now, the best way to try and decipher whether or not that altcoin is going to do that or not is you're probably best boiling it down on a Bitcoin pair rather than a Tether pair, but both of them will be appropriate. But again, you know, this isn't for me to start, you know, naming and shaming altcoins. I've not actually had the time to do it. The reason I'm making a video at 12:30 today is because my little 2-year-old decided to begin the puke-a-thon this morning, and she's only just gone for a little nap now. She's not feeling very well, so I've not been able to do anything this morning other than mop up vomit, really, and change pajamas many times. So yeah, like I say, I've not made a plan for any specific altcoins. I'm still happy to sit this market out for a little bit longer anyway. Given the fact that traditional markets still don't know which way they want to go. They're still listening to the old men around the table, waiting for all these figures to come through to give us an idea of whether or not inflation's higher, is it lower, what are the Fed going to do. My expectation is that, you know, we still do have this last pump before the crash, and even if we don't, it might end up in a crash. The market is particularly uncertain for me right now, despite having these small setups and you know, little indications as to what is going to move and when they're going to move and why. I still think that if I'm going to commit a large sum of money to this market, I'd like to wait for a little bit more than just a 4-hourly chart with a trend signal in the face of, you know, jobs and earnings reports coming through that are going to infect the markets. But, you know, hand on heart, I generally think that a setup like this should have continuation. It could all be nipped in the bud by, you know, some kind of bad report or bad figures. So at the end of the day, what I am suggesting basically is that Bitcoin does continue up from here. I think it does continue up, only to this level or maybe even less than that. So maybe up by another 11-12% at best, and altcoins run similar to that. Some run obviously a lot more than that, but as for which altcoins are going to do that, I don't particularly have any favorites running at the moment. I've just been looking at Ethereum to Bitcoin and BNB to Bitcoin because they are the strongest. I mean, BNB is the strongest coin in crypto, full stop. There's no denying that. This is like one of the best charts you'll ever see. And it's undeniable. But for the moment, what we're looking at is consolidation of its own, probably back down to its 50 exponential maybe, and then from there we can continue to rally on. That's going to have an impact on dominance chart. Same with Ethereum, really. Ethereum is similar to that. It's just a bit more of a droopy chart here now with a death cross here on the 12 hourly. I'm not the biggest fan of Ethereum. I think it's done the majority of its move. It's just an indicator of the health of altcoins, generally speaking. And its Bitcoin pair doesn't look particularly happy, I have to say. But if we were to think about areas on the chart, areas of significance, we can zoom out a little bit and highlight this as one as well. Which, as far as Ethereum to Bitcoin is concerned, it's not that far away. It's only like 4% away. So if we do start to see a move up on Bitcoin, which again would be the first to move, you might see Ethereum to its Bitcoin pair pull back by another 4% to roughly around this horizontal where we might find a bounce, and that bounce would likely be felt across altcoins as a whole as the dominance chart would start to pull back more. So like I say, I'm not particularly sold on this market right now. I've had much more fun trading oil over these last few weeks than I've had doing any kind of crypto. So I'm prepared to just sit it out still, despite me feeling as though there is a very small fix on this market in the way that it wants to move. I'm not particularly interested in trying to play this, because for me, mostly trading is about risk to reward and discipline, and I don't see a great deal of reward, despite when you compare to the risk of putting an entry point in at this very moment in time. I still feel as though we're still living off the back of that September situation. And I'm just looking for at least another range to be established for Bitcoin, whether it's higher or lower, and maybe some more confidence fall into the laps of traditional markets, to which there is none. Especially with the FX market, that looks like it has bounced from where I said it was going to bounce from, and it's also met the targets of what I feel like are appropriate resistances, which means that they should go down and Dixie go up. So there's a lot of conflict in the way that I manage all my trades, which is a combination of major indices, FX markets, so pound, euro, dollar, and obviously crypto, Bitcoin alike. So there is no one chart to defeat all, really. You do have to try and boil it all down into some financial stew, and see what the flavour is when you dip your spoon into it, really. And at the moment, the flavour is particularly sour, and I don't think it's ripe for any kind of major commitment of trading, really. Scalpy scalp seems to be the only real way to deal with this market, and that's only if you've got the time. If your child's not throwing up all over the place, maybe you could do that. But for me, I don't think I'll be able to take advantage of this market today, nor even if I didn't have a sick child. Maybe I probably still wouldn't either. Like I say, it's not very convincing in the way that it looks, despite me favouring the upside based on the things that I've explained on the Bitcoin chart alone. Anyway, I'll leave it with you there, but thank you for watching. Hope you have a nice day, and take it easy.